everyone, welcome. This is Andrew, dietitian coach here with 310 Nutrition. Just say hi as you guys hop on. I'm going to be making this recipe here today, the chocolate pumpkin pie shake protein shake. Just let me know as you guys start hopping on. Let me know what you guys are doing today, day before Thanksgiving. You guys are at home, out with family, finishing up work. Hey, welcome. Hi, Maria. So I'm going to try to see these comments, but hi, hello, welcome. So yeah, I'm going to just let you guys start joining on. Like I said, today we're going to be going over a chocolate pumpkin pie shake recipe. So that's the ingredients you see here today. We'll be using the pumpkin pie spice and the chocolate protein and a few other ingredients, all from Trader Joe's, actually mostly. Yeah, actually all from Trader Joe's. We just stopped by today. Hi. I think that's Jasmine. Sorry, if I'm not reading your name correctly, I'm sorry. It's a little hard to read. But thank you for being here. By the kitchen. All right. Yeah, so here, we'll be in the kitchen half the time today, making the recipe. And the other half will be just going over some helpful tips for Thanksgiving, over the just holidays, just keep you on track if your goal is to continue losing weight, just some helpful tips when you're eating, around that dinner, around that time. So we'll just get started. So the first ingredients here that you'll see are the 310 Nutrition shakes. These are going to be kind of your base flavor with the shake. So this is a pumpkin pie spice shake. I think Sierra was the one who made the actual recipe. So credit to her. I made a little twist on it with cinnamon instead of pumpkin spice because I could not find pumpkin spice anywhere. I'm just thinking it right now. Everybody just crazy with Thanksgiving at least day before Thanksgiving. So we'll be using cinnamon. That's the only difference from the recipe you'll see on the 310 Nutrition website. But yeah, anyways, we'll be using the pumpkin pie, pumpkin spice, and the chocolate bliss. Hi, Maria. Yeah. Sorry, I missed that, Maria, but we'll try to get back to you in a sec. So we'll be using half and half of these. The recipe calls for half a scoop of the pumpkin pie. So we'll be doing half a scoop of that and half of the chocolate. And before I get into that one, the liquid we'll be using is this oat milk. Again, the recipe is almond milk, but I mean, either one, they're both pretty creamy. In my opinion, the oat milk turns out a little bit creamier, so that's why I go for this one. Pretty similar in makeup of calories and total fat, pretty low in total fat too. So I'll be going with the oat milk. And here we're going to be using a half a cup. So half a cup of this oat milk. And the good thing about these recipes, if you're using alternative ingredients like this, is when you're using like whole milk or whole dairy milks, I mean, they're going to have a lot more protein. So when you're using something like this with a lot less, and you want the shake to be higher in protein, that's why it's good that you're adding like a powder like the 310 Nutrition powder to increase the protein in your shake. So this is mostly just the liquid to mix it together. I usually add a little bit more if I see it's not blending, enough. But okay, so now let's get started with the main ingredients. We get half a scoop of the pumpkin spice and then a half a scoop of the chocolate bliss. Let me know what your guys' favorite flavors are. Because, recently I've been using a lot of the pumpkin spice because of the holidays. But what's your favorite flavor? What is your go-to shake? Let me know too so I can start getting ideas for future recipes. All right, so there we have that. So that's the powder. Next, we're going to be using the pumpkin puree. So I just grabbed this pumpkin puree, if you guys can see that, from Trader Joe's. And we'll be doing half a cup of this. This is a great filler, a great vegetable that you can add for shakes to add volume. And with a fraction of the calories, half a cup of this pumpkin spice is 50 calories, and it's very filling. It's rich in fiber and a lot of antioxidants, so it's a really great ingredient to add in your shakes. I mean, not just Thanksgiving, around the holidays and around like the whole year. Sarah says, looks like I'm seeing what I'm making for. Oh gosh, it's really hard to read. Let's see if I catch that. Oh, making for dinner. Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, great. Great shake to have for dinner. You can whip this up in a matter of, just like 2 minutes. But I'm just trying to do this with you guys, so take a little longer. But like I said, half a cup. Like so. I'm gonna add half a cup of the pumpkin puree. All right. Next, Greek yogurt. So this is another one from Trader Joe's. Just a plain Greek yogurt. You can use the vanilla, but I mean, you really don't need any flavored Greek yogurt for this recipe. You're getting a lot of the flavor from other ingredients. So really complete, high quality protein too. Greek yogurt. Like you guys have seen, a lot of recipes have Greek yogurt. It's easier to digest because it's in a yogurt form compared to like whole milk. So if you're a little bit lactose intolerant, you might add a little bit less. You might switch this out for like an alternative. But you're going to be using half a cup of this one as well. So we'll try to grab the spoon here and do half a cup, like so. So now we have half a cup of Greek yogurt. So it's a lot of volume. As you guys can start to see, there's a lot of volume already, being made in the shake. And that's what you want when you want something filling. You want something that's gonna give you the fullness, the satiety, that you need to go on for a few hours, so you're not having these cravings and snacking all the time. So great idea to add volume to your shakes. All right, the next one is, I'm gonna finish the last one, the Hershey's cacao powder. This cacao powder, so you're gonna add 1 tablespoon of this, and this is gonna give a lot of chocolatiness to your recipe, to your shake. So be careful with this one. It's only 1 tablespoon of the cacao powder. So you can even go a little bit lighter if you don't like too much chocolatiness in your shakes. But it's pretty good, pretty decent for me. Let me just wash this real quick. Make sure this is clean. All right. So let's see here, 1 tablespoon of this, like so. All right. And then lastly, like I said, I couldn't find the pumpkin spice, so I'm using cinnamon for this recipe. You can also use nutmeg. Another great spice you can add for this that really complements is nutmeg. So for this one, it's 1/4 of a teaspoon. So really small amount of this one. Tiny amount of cinnamon. All right, and the last but not least, we have peanut butter. So 310 Nutrition has the powdered peanut butter that has a lot less fat because it's like in a dried up form with a lot of the protein, a lot of the fats actually removed from the protein from the peanut butter. But you can also use just the normal peanut butter. That's what I have here today. So I'll be adding 1 full tablespoon of all natural peanut butter. And like I said, a lot of these, basically all these ingredients, except for the 310 all-in-one protein powders, were all from Trader Joe's. So you can find all those there. Let me just use my finger here. Like so. All right. A little messy, the peanut butter, but we got it done. All right, guys, so that's it. That's all I have so far. As you can see, it's a little bit thick, so I'm going to try to give it a mix. If I need to add a little bit more oat milk, I will. But just give me 1 sec while I make this shake in our Ninja. This is a Ninja blender here. So it is coming out a little bit thick, so I'm gonna add just a splash of the oat milk. And then another trick, it's about done, but I'm gonna add some ice too. Another trick to add more volume to any of your shakes, really, is the veggies is like the puree veggies, like the pumpkin, but you can also add just ice. Ice is gonna add a lot of volume too, which is gonna keep you full because it's just fluid, So you can add about a cup of ice. I'm just gonna be adding a few little cubes just to kind of thicken it up. It's already thick enough. About 4 small cubes of ice should be enough. So here's some ice, but most of it is nice and blended. Oh, and I smell a lot of pumpkin and chocolate, so those are the first hits that I get when I open it up. So I'm just gonna give this a pour and actually start sipping it while I get on to the next part of our video. But as you see, it's really thick. It still has some chunks of ice in there, but that's okay, they'll melt. So you get a really thick shake. I want to say about, this is like 8 ounces. You'll get about 2 of these cups. So I want to say you'll get about 16 ounces for 1 serving. But nice, thick, chocolatey shake that you get here. Yeah, and very pumpkin forward. So I hope you guys like pumpkin if you're trying this one out. If you don't want so much pumpkin, maybe you can do less than half a cup of the pumpkin puree. But wait, otherwise from that, I mean, chocolate and pumpkin, peanut butter, those are the dominant flavors that I get. All right, guys, so I'm going to get into the second part of the video and start answering a little more questions. We're in my mind. I'm just going to ask which one was your favorite flavor. Yeah, for me, it's right at the moment, it's the pumpkin spice. So that's the one I'm really enjoying. I'm actually almost done with this bag, so I'm gonna have to order another one of these. The pumpkin spice is really one of my favorites. Yeah, nice to hear too, Sarah. I mean, it's a delicious flavor. I've made shakes, I've made just puddings. I mean, I've made other recipes on these lives too, and the pumpkin spice it's never failed me. So it's a great flavor. You can be very versatile with. So let's just finish off some of our time. Okay, good. So we have the other half of the time. I wonder how sweet potato would taste. Sweet potato is also a great choice. Yeah, great choice for adding more volume, add a lot of vitamin B, carotene. I mean, a lot of antioxidants. Sweet potatoes are a great source of carbohydrates, a great slow digesting carbohydrate. So great addition. Because there's something that is kind of missing in these shakes is not much carbohydrates. I mean, apart from what you get from the Greek yogurt and a little bit from the pumpkin puree. But even adding a sweet potato to this recipe, I'm sure it's going to add a lot of more flavors, and it's going to be a great addition. So don't be afraid to mess around with the recipe, try out your own twist on it. And we'll definitely be leaving the ingredient list, the recipe down below. And then I'll be putting up a nice, like, presentable, like, PDF file, like the ways that I've been showing you guys on the other recipes. So let's get started just on some tips to stay on track this Thanksgiving. This Thanksgiving over the holidays. This applies to any family friend gathering that you'll be having, right? I just want to start off by, the beginning of the day. Before Thanksgiving, before whatever dinner party you're having, you're always going to want to start off with the habits that have helped you get to where you are now, right? And if that means a healthy breakfast, healthy shake in the morning, a walk, whatever routines you're starting off with, start there. Don't break it just because there's some special event coming up. Stay on track by starting off with a well-balanced meal. So whatever that meal is for you, continue it. That's going to be what, the best habit that you can have to continue making the progress, even on special days like Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, right? So that's tip number 1 to help you stay on track. And then when you're at the party or going before you go, have something small. So an example is maybe your Thanksgiving dinner is at 6, maybe 5, 6 p.m., right? And you head over a little bit early because you want to be with family and friends. And you had lunch maybe 12 o'clock, 11 if you're early, if you eat an early lunch. Make sure you have a little something before you head over to that dinner, to that meal, with that family, because there's going to be a lot of delicious, great, amazing food out there. But you don't want to go into it starving and super hungry. So something small, maybe higher in protein, like high protein snack, maybe one of the protein balls that we made in the last recipe, just a cracker with some all natural peanut butter, some high fiber crackers, with whole grains with some natural peanut butter on there. Just something like that, something small where there's proteins, some healthy fats, and just something that hold you over. So you're going into, the Thanksgiving dinner with kind of more neutral stomach. You're not like ravenous and just hungry to eat everything you see. Okay, so that's tip number 2 is eat something small about an hour out before you go to your to that dinner. Number 3 is to put your health conscious skills to the test. So once you're there, you're there with family, you're on the lookout, what things look good, what appetizers you want to grab, what's a good dinner, what's a good the dishes that catch your eye. Put your skills to the test, right? You've been learning from a lot of these coaches, a lot of us teaching you the skills. Maybe you're out there exploring yourself, doing your own research, and you found ways to help you with your weight loss and your progress. So put those skills to the test there. Don't completely throw everything out and like throw free. Put those skills. This is what you've been, so diligently working on and creating these healthy habits for. So this is when you put them to the test. So just cleaner appetizers, have a lookout. I put some examples here: veggie sticks, hummus dips. There's some Greek yogurt or hummus dips that are out there. Deviled eggs, higher protein snacks with, just high protein. Just have a lookout for those things that are going to be the healthier options. So that's tip number 3, is to keep your health conscious skills on when you're at your Thanksgiving dinner. Number 4, and if you guys have any questions while I'm going through these, make sure to leave a message or a comment, and then I'll try to get back to you at the end. Or if you're watching this on replay, also leave a comment and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And number 4 here, just to continue, is to set drink limit. So this applies to a lot of social gatherings, events that we have. But give yourself a maximum amount of drinks, alcoholic drinks that you should have, that is healthy, that is the right amount for you, to make sure you're enjoying your time, but just not going overboard, right? Whatever that maximum amount of drinks is for you, have it in your brain before you even have your meal, before you sit down and have your meals. And make sure to be conscious, with the food, the drinks that you're having. Don't, just indulge and just drink your drink without even enjoying it. Take small sips, make sure you're tasting it, you're taking, into mind what, that you're enjoying the drink, and, just things like that, being conscious of what you're drinking. And then choosing lower calorie options, because we know there's always going to be the lower sugar, zero sugar, sweeteners and lower calorie options. And that is going to help. It is going to help because a lot of these drinks that are sugary, that are flavored, can have more calories and more concentrated sugar than, like a complete, plate of meal, like a whole bunch of food, maybe a full plate of meal. Some of these drinks are 300, 400, 500 calorie drinks in a small 6-8 ounce little portion. And you can have a few of those and not be full. So be very conscious of those sweetened, very high calorie drinks. And mostly when they're mixed with alcohol, more calories, more, more to be aware of. So keep that awareness on point, okay? Some examples I have here are wine spirits, wine spritzers, and vodka soda mixed with, like lower sugar options. Those are great low calorie alcoholic drinks that will keep you on track without too much of the added calories. So that's number 4. And number 5, we're going to get into just real quickly exercise. We know how important exercise is just for our physical well-being, our mental well-being. The same applies to special days like Thanksgiving. You want to make sure you're staying active, you're staying physically active. Starting the day with an hour of walking, hiking, biking, weightlifting, whatever motivates you and keeps you on track. Most people start off the day with some kind of activity, something that is a healthy habit, and they continue that throughout the day. Maria says vodka with the 310 lemonades is yummy. That's a good idea, Maria. Never thought about that, using lemonades. But yeah, definitely the lemonade sweeteners are a great low calorie sweetener that you can have with your alcoholic drink. So if you have something and maybe you can carry a little lemonade and sweeten it up a little bit, perfect. Great option. Good call, Maria. So the exercise, yeah, just starting off, and this applies for like healthy habits. Exercise is also a healthy habit that should be part of your weight loss journey, right? So keeping that in that day to make sure you're continuing that streak of healthy habits is going to be important. So keeping you motivated to continue making those choices later in the day. So if you're exercising in the morning, you'll find out it'll be easier to make those healthier decisions later in the day for dinner and whatever else comes up. So that's tip number 5 is exercise. Number 6 is controlling your portions. So we talked about being conscious of how full you are, right? Adding something before your dinner, before that Thanksgiving dinner, but also now at the meal is controlling the portions. And I mean, including all the portions, even veggies, even the healthier options that you see on the plate. If you're not the one making a lot of these dishes, if you're not the one prepping and putting your sweat and tears into a lot of these meals, because I know this takes a lot of work, then you might not know how much added margarine, sugary sauces, how much of the added ingredients and those sneaky ingredients can be in there. So be conscious, be moderate with your portions of everything, including the vegetables. So some things that you can do to take advantage is slicing your own pie, putting your own portions. Jia says, I'm serving hot 310 peppermint and chocolate. Oh, nice. Okay, nice. Okay, peppermint chocolate, great holiday, little recipe to have with your family. That's great. So yeah, I mean, try to incorporate the stuff that and control it with yourself making the choices. So controlling your portions is kind of taking control of your food and watching your portions by serving yourself, being conscious of the amount of protein, the veggies, the carbohydrates on your plate, trying to use that my plate method if that's something that you're familiar with. Slicing your own piece of pie, slicing your own dessert, making those conscious decisions that you're in control of your body and your decisions of foods that you're making. So that's number 6. And that goes into number 7. Tip is to listen to your body, making sure that you are listening to not just your stomach, but just what is your brain telling you? Like, are you satisfied? Are you full? And then Violet, if you can put up the little hunger quotient scale. I just found this little scale online that I thought was really helpful, just to keep you in mind, just keep you conscious of where you're at, like how full you are. Because there's like a range. There's a scale from like 1 to 10 is completely starving on the level of 1 to 10 is like full, that you never want to eat again. And staying somewhere in the middle ground, run that neutral when you're going into your Thanksgiving dinner, and when you're just thinking about choosing that next food, that next dessert, or that second piece, is asking yourself where are you on this level, on this scale of 1 to 10, and you kind of want to be between the 6 and 8, is that middle ground, not super hungry where you still have a lot of room for more food and you're starving, and then not overindulging where you just never want to eat again. You tell yourself, I'm sure we've all been there, we've just stuffed ourselves and we're like, we never want to eat again. Trying to avoid that and try to stay in the middle ground. So listening to your body, using that hunger quotient scale is going to be helpful. We'll add it and put it in the messages too, so you guys can check it out. Tip number 8 is drinking plenty of water. So keeping those fluids, keeping hydrated throughout the day, before and during. It's going to be important just to keep your body functioning optimally. Even when you're dehydrated, you're going to be drinking more, and you don't want that to be more eating and drinking foods and things that you shouldn't be having in excess. So keep making sure you're hydrated before and then throughout your whole dinner, the whole Thanksgiving feast is going to be a really good decision to make. This will prevent you from overeating, again, making and keeping you full and making the smarter choices. Just said, do you eat until you're satisfied or full? You definitely want to eat until you're satisfied and on that hunger scale. If you guys could check it out a little bit later, it's around the 7 mark, 7 to 8, and the 7, and it shows. Let me just read it here because I have it here just so I can read it to you. The 7. Okay, so sorry about that. It was the mid neutral ground is around 5, and 7 to 8 is still very hungry, and then 3 to 4 is so on the lower end of the scale. When you're looking at 2, 3, the lower end of the scale, you're more satisfied. Just kind of like you could have, just slightly. So around 3 or 4 is what you're thinking is, I feel satisfied with having this last bite, but I feel like I don't need it because I'm satisfied enough. So just kind of waiting and eating slowly is going to help you reach that point where you're satisfied, just so your brain can just receive the message that you're full, that you're satisfied, right? I stop eating before I'm full, and I wait until I'm actually full. I overeat. Right. So just taking the time and we sometimes forget how powerful it is just to eat slowly. And I need to learn that with myself too, because actually my fiance is in the other room and she tells me that all the time, to eat slowly, because we need to register that we're full, that we're satisfied. And when we eat super quickly, sometimes we forget, not that we forget, we just don't register that we're full, and then we go past the point of being over full. And there's always room for more. If you wait 15 minutes, 20, an hour, and you want another little bit, then you can go ahead and do that. Mindful eating is a wonderful thing. Definitely, Maria, definitely a wonderful thing. You got to make sure, and it takes practice. So that's why I mean all these skills that you've learned throughout the year, this is when you can put them into action. You can actually use them. So those mindful eating. All right, so let me see. Where were we? Number 8. Okay, so we talked about drinking plenty of water. Okay, and tip number 9 is just to enjoy your day, because you do have to enjoy the time with your friends and family. When it comes to Thanksgiving or just any other gatherings you have, you want to make sure you remember the moments you spend with those people that are important in your life, because that's the focus, right? The focus here is to appreciate and enjoy that time with your family, to be grateful for who's around you, who's supporting you. The food is just a celebration of what everything is, and something that you've come together to enjoy together with. But that's why we want to focus on the people, not the food. That's kind of like the last tip, is to enjoy your day. Be conscious and wise about your choices, using a lot of the tips that I shared with you today. Just indulge on the favorite foods that you have. But you're going to be waiting a lot of these foods, probably all month. You've been thinking about the famous pumpkin pie, or whatever dish that your family makes. So enjoy it, but just be mindful and conscious of what you're having. And yeah, just have a good Thanksgiving, because this is this comes once a year, and we want to enjoy, make sure it's something momentous that we can remember. So on that note, that is it. Is there any questions that any of you have about the recipe today, while I sip on this, or the tips? Any other things that you come across, that any other barriers you have when you're having your Thanksgiving dinner, when you have your your family gatherings? Let me know. Put them in the comment. And if you're watching on replay, again, I'll try to go over this video, answer any last minute questions you guys might have. So yeah. No other questions. That's all the material I had for today. So just gonna open it up. But that's it. All right. So I'm getting the message here that we're ending it. But thank you guys all for watching. I will see you guys on the next live, and have a happy and great Thanksgiving, everyone. All right, guys. Happy Thanksgiving, Barbara. All right, guys. Bye. Enjoy. You guys have a great time.